Bob Mills Weather Center, Oklahoma weather expert, Jed Castles.
I was wondering why, if you got a perfect score, you would take it a second time. That makes a lot more sense that it was required by the school. Jed, there might be a lot of folks out there wondering why it feels like summer and it's only the beginning of May.
Yeah, that's right. You know what? In May time, that sun is high voltage now, and we get those UV indexes up around a 10. That means that sun is going to be scorching, so you get all that UV rays blasting the ground. It does start to heat things up, and we are now in that summer-type pattern. You get a cold front down here. That can drop you back down in the 60s, and sometimes we can't even see 50s this time of the year, but no signs of that showing up here right now this week or even the weekend. Looks good. Let's check out your weather right now. You can see southerly winds across Oklahoma, a little stronger out toward the panhandle. We'll track that dry line. That'll shove across the panhandle, move toward far west Oklahoma late today. That may spark a thunderstorm or two. Right now here in the Oklahoma City area, we're starting off. It's dry, it's warm, it's humid. It's a bit breezy out there as well. Right now 71, and the south winds about 15 miles per hour. Morning temperatures again are going to start warm. We'll make it up to about 82, 86 here in the metro area by about lunchtime today. Going through your afternoon, we'll kick it back in the upper 80s. A few spots getting up in the low 90s coming up here this afternoon. You see 94 there for Fort Cobb, 96 around Hobart. So just prepare another hot one on the way today. Let's check your future rainfall. It'll be dry today. As we go into the evening, we'll see a chance of a stray thunderstorm popping up. Now, this is very much dependent on the cap. If the cap holds in it strong, we may not see any storms at all. But if we can get one or two storms, there might be the opportunity for a little rainfall coming in. Maybe some spots closing in on 1 inch of rainfall. As we go toward Friday, there'll be a cold front that'll come down. Now, cold fronts aren't all that strong this time of the year, so that'll come on in, be more or less a wind shift lines that comes in, and that may bring a chance for a storm coming up Friday. We'll detail that more here coming up in just a little bit. Right now, the data has us dry into Friday afternoon, but our chances will go up some into the afternoon and evening hours tomorrow. More on that here in just a little bit. Right now, 72, waking up this morning. 60, 70, 72 at 8 o'clock, 78 at 10, and we should be in the 80s by lunchtime, climbing into the upper 80s by 2 o'clock today before getting into the low 90s by about 4 or 5 o'clock today. We have a little bit of pollen out there as well. The grass pollen, tree pollen leading the way in the pollen count. In the mold spore count, it's also a factor, and there's a lot of mold types right now across Oklahoma kicking in with all the rain we had last week with these warm, humid conditions. Love this kind of weather. So if you suffer from mold, probably feeling it today. Those trees, hickories and pecans are leading the way right now. 70s and a few 60s waking up this morning. As we go through the day today, we'll have some wind around. Strongest winds right now are out west, where a few gusts are up around 33 miles per hour in Cheyenne. Far northwest Oklahoma, a few gusts up near 30 up near Buffalo. So temperature today heating back up. Upper 80s, some 90s, some mid 90s out west, maybe a few upper 90s as well. Into tonight, 60s and 70s cover most of the state. Might be the 50s back behind that dry line out in the panhandle. That'll be nice and cool there. And then 80s, some 90s on the way for your Friday. And we're going to keep it hot on into your weekend. Back into the 80s, some 90s out in the western sides of the state. Let's check the rain chances going into this evening and tonight. We'll put the chances isolated, widely scattered, and again, this is very much dependent on the cap. The cap looks pretty strong. Some data saying we won't get any rain, but if we get one or two storms to develop, they'll ride across west into northwest Oklahoma, and these storms will have a chance of some heavy rain, some severe weather as well, with some golf ball size hail possible out of these storms. Winds to about 65, maybe near 70. And along the path of where those storms are, some heavy rainfall possible. Especially as those storms develop late today, there could be some wind gusts up near 65 to near 70, but most of the winds I think will run under 65 miles per hour, and some large hail possible too, up to about golf ball size. Now again, the caveat there is, will we get storms? And if we can, again, a little severe weather possible there. The cold front will slide down, kind of stall out here over central Oklahoma late tomorrow. As it moves in along that boundary, a chance of a storm will be possible. Monitor that. Like I said, some of the data shows not much going on here for Oklahoma City, but if we can get a storm develop, some severe weather will be possible. Again, watching large hail and some strong winds being the main story there. So rain chances on Friday, 30%. Again, it's still just going to stay hot, okay? So upper 80s, low 90s most days. We'll see chance of rain in the forecast, but right now, no big bad, big, severe weather outbreaks showing, which certainly can happen this time of the year, but there are some chances here and there. And just remember, we're now in May, so if you get a storm, a lot of times that threat for severe weather will be there, so we'll keep an eye on it day after day heading into next week.